So hello and good morning everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to use the different file commands here in Windows. So the first thing that we need to do is open our Windows command prompt. So we're going to click the Windows icon and search for CMD or command prompt. So CMD for short. Open the command prompt and we are now ready to execute the different file commands here in Windows. So the first command that we're going to learn for now is the command dir. So what it does is that it's going to display the different information of subfolders, directories, or folders that are inside the current directory that we are currently in. Since we are in the VMwin directory, then by the time that I'm going to press enter, here it displays us the 3D objects directory, the contacts, the desktop, and so on. So from the VMwin directory, these are the different directories that are inside, subdirectories inside the VMwin directory. And if we were to manually check this, we go into the files, click this file icon, and we go to this PC, we check on the drive, we are in the C drive. So we're going to click the C drive. And the next one is the users and the directory VMwin. So we click the users, the VMwin directory. Here, it displays us the different subdirectories inside the VMwin directory. And take note, these are the default directories that are created by the time that you install Windows on your system. So we have the 3D objects up to videos from the VMwin directory. So again, dir, or it stands for directory. That is the directory command. Okay, so the next command that we're going to learn is the cd or chdir command. So it can be ch or chdir. But for now, we're going to make use with the cd command. So cd or change directory or current directory has two functions. It can either have a parameter with the dir parameter or directory, or without the parameter. So the without parameter is a function that let us know or checks what is the current directory we are currently in. So since we are in the VMwin directory, then it is already expected that we are going to get the result of the VMwin directory or the C drive slash users to VMwin directory. So we are in the VMwin directory. So it is a current directory checks display information, something like that. Okay. And its second function is with a parameter dir. So it changes us to another directory that we want to specify. Let's say, for example, since we are in the VMwin directory and we want to change our location to the documents directory or the subdirectory of the VMwin directory, then we're just going to change the parameter dir into documents. So cd documents, press enter, and here we are in the documents directory or folder. So again, cd has two functions, with or without parameter. So we can also make use with the format of this kind of file commands. Let's say, for example, we want to access the downloads directory when we are in the documents directory that is outside the documents, and it is in the VMwin directory. So we already know that when we make use of the double dot, it tells us that we're going to move backward from the previous directory that is containing the documents directory. So what directory contains the documents directory is the VMwin directory, or the directory that we were currently in from the previous. So double dot just makes access to the VMwin directory. So double dot backslash, and from that point we are going to specify what directory of the VMwin we want to access or change. And so let's say, for example, we want to go to the downloads. So downloads directory, we're just going to type that. And here we are in the downloads directory when we were in the documents directory from the previous. So again, cd with or without parameter with two functions. So the next command that we're going to learn is the command md or mkdir. but we're just going to use the mkdir format. So mkdir stands for make directory. So what it says is that it's going to create a directory for us with a specified name of the directory that we want. So let's say for example that we're going to create a directory inside the documents directory. We're just going to switch to documents directory to make things more organized, okay? So double dot backslash documents, and we gain access to, or we are currently in the documents directory, and we're going to use the command mkdir. So mkdir, and with the directory name food only. So what it does is, what it says is that make a directory for me with the directory name food. And by the time I press enter, it has successfully been created, but it does not show a display message that there exists a food directory inside the documents directory. But it is already evident since there is no error that executed after we inputted this particular command. So in order for us to know that there is already a food directory, then we're going to manually check it. We can either use the dir command. There exists already a directory of the food. We can also manually check this. So we go to files and we click on documents. There. So we have already a subdirectory food from the documents directory. So that's it. The make directory. Make directory command or the mkdir. Okay. So the next command is the rm or rmdir. But for now, just the same earlier from the ND, we're just going to make use with the rmdir version. So earlier we have mkdir, this time we're going to use with the rmdir. So what it says or what it states is that it is a remove directory command. So when we want to specify a name of the directory, then it's going to be removed. So it removes that particular directory that we want to input or specify. So since we are in the documents directory, let's say we want to remove the previous directory that we created, which is food, then we're just going to type in the rmdir command and the name of the directory food. So that's it. So what it says is that remove this directory for me with the directory name food and press enter. It has been successfully deleted or removed from the documents directory with the food directory name inside the documents directory. Sorry. So if we were to manually check this, let's click the file, documents. There exists no food directory anymore because it was already removed. And the disadvantages with the rmdir or the remove directory command is that we will no longer have any option to undo our action. So this is already permanent. So be wise in making decisions when you want to delete a particular directory using the rmdir command. So that's it. So no undo, there is no turning back. So make sure that you are using this wisely. So rmdir command again. Okay, so the next command is the copy command. Copy command has two parameters, the file1 and the file2. So what it does is that it does not make use with the directories, folders, or subfolders since it involves the use of files. These files are executable files that will display as an information by the time that we execute it. That is why it is called executable files, because if we click on it, it's going to display something like this one. When we click on the command prompt earlier, this is the displayed UI that greeted us by the time we click on it. So this time, we're going to create a file that is the same of the command prompt that is executable. So let's say, for example, we go to the documents. We're going to right click on it, hover on new, and click on text document. So we're going to name this as cake. Cake. And that's it. And here, if we click on it, double click, it greeted us with an empty text file that is opened using the notepad notepad application. So it is empty since we just newly created it and we did not specify any input from it. And let's say for example that if we want to make use with the copy command and we want to visually observe that it really copied this particular file with the same input to another renamed file or the copied file from the original file. So we go back to the notepad and let's say for example we want to input my name, so Kyle Moreno, something like that, and click Control S. So that's it, and I'm going to exit this one, and we go back to the copy command. And so the first parameter, file1, is the original file, and file2, or the second parameter, is the specified copied file with the new name on it. So it copies from the original file or from the file1 with a new file name. So here we specify the name of the text file, cakes.txt, and the second parameter is a new file name of the cakes.txt. So we're just going to specify this and make it organized. So since we inputted my name, then we're going to change this into names.txt. And one file has been successfully copied. This time it has a message that it states that one file has been copied in the documents directory. And here we saw that the execution created the names.txt file. So if I were to click on this one, the names.txt, it has the input Kyle Moreno in it, which was on the previous from the cakes.txt file. It also has Kyle Moreno. So both of them are just initially the same. So look at it. There. So that's what the copy command does. It copies the original file and make another file on it. And make sure or take note that when you're copying a file, it should not be the same or of the same name from the original file because this will turn out to be invalid or will cause an error. Look, let's do a test here. So we have the names.txt, right? We have the names.txt. So if I were to execute the copy command, the names.txt, the original file, and the second parameter with the names.txt again, it will cause an error. So there, the file cannot be copied onto itself. So this is what I meant. So it causes an error since it is sensible that if we want to copy a file and we want to name it with the previous name, then it won't work since we want to copy it with another name and we want it to be another file. So that's it. That's the explanation from the copy command. So again, the copy command with the two parameters. It can also be you can also copy another file using some advanced configuration, the same as what we have done here with the use of double dots and to create it on another directory. And you can do it as well. It still works. So that's it, the copy command. And okay, so the next one is the move command. So move. So what it does is that it moves one file to another location or directory or folder. So the first parameter is the executable file. Let's say for example I want to move the names.txt executable text document to the downloads directory. So we just need to input this to the parameter that we can specify on the move command. So the first parameter is the file one, or I mean just file, because we only have one parameter, so that's the file that we want to move. And the second one is the directory. So let's say for example we want to specify the names.txt, the, the I mean the executable file that we want to move, and the next is the directory that we want to move the uh, executable file. Since we are in the documents, therefore we cannot move this directly. Since we are in the documents, we need to access the vmwin directory first. So again, we're going to make use with the double dots, right? Remember the double dots. So double dots and backslash. Now we are currently in the vmwin directory by the time that we make use of the double dots and downloads. So that's it. If I were to press enter, there. It says that one file has been moved, and we can see visually that the names.txt has disappeared from the documents directory. So we click on the downloads, and there, it has been moved. So that's what the move command does. It moves one file to another directory or to another location. So that's for the command. So the next command that we're going to learn is the command rename, or just simply ren. So what it does is that it renames an executable file or document into another name. So the first parameter is the original file or the file 1. So it has the same parameter as the copy command from the previous. So file 1 is the original, and file 2 is the new name of the original file. So let's say, for example, we're going to change the name of the cakes executable text document. Since we are in the documents directory currently here, we are in the documents directory. So we're going to change the cakes into something else. And since our cakes text document has an input called Moreno, then it is not appropriate from the file name. So we're going to change that. We're going to change that into something much more appropriate. So it's just like the same from the previous that we have moved the names.txt to the downloads. So it's just going to be the same name as from that downloads. Okay. And since we only have one input, which is just my name, so it's going to be just name.txt. So we're going to do that. So ren, we're going to specify cakes.txt. So make sure that you will always specify the file format together with the file name, with the new file name of the cakes.txt. So name.txt. And by the time that I'm going to click this, there we go. It has been successfully renamed. So from that point, we can see here in the documents directory that there exists no name such as the cakes.txt anymore. It has been changed to name.txt. And if we were to click on it, it has still has the same input from the previous cakes.txt file. It still has Kelmarin on it. It has just been renamed. So that's it. That's how, or that's what it does. And here, since we have this names.txt, so it has still the same. This is from the downloads directory though. So we're just going to close that. So that's what the rename or the run command does. It renames a particular file that we want to change from its original name to another name. Okay, so we move to the next command, which is the del or delete command. So this time, it is still the same from the previous, like the copy or the run, but del is a command that majorly focuses on deleting files that we want to specify. So let's say, for example, since we are in the documents directory and we want to delete the name.txt document or the executable document, we're just going to specify the parameter of the del. So here we have the name.txt. We're just going to specify it.txt. So name.txt, and we are in the documents directory. Press enter. So there. It has been successfully removed from the documents directory, the executable text document name.txt. So it is already empty. The folder is already empty. There exists no executable file name called name.txt, and that's it. If we also want to remove the names.txt inside the downloads from the previous that we created, then we're just going to specify the configuration we have learned from the previous. Let's say, for example, here, as from the previous, as I have mentioned, the double dots, the backslash, the downloads, and the backslash again, and we're going to delete the names.txt. Since in the downloads, that is the name of the executable file there, names.txt. So press enter. And even though we are in the documents directory and we configure this type of command, then we have successfully removed the names.txt executable text document from the downloads directory. So that's what it does. Okay. So the next is the command exit. So The exit command is a system command that shuts down or closes down the command prompt. So it is the same as operating as clicking this X file or the close file in here, but it is an executable. Sorry for that. It is an executable command. So by the time that I'm going to press enter on this, it closes or shuts down the command prompt. So that's what it does. It shuts down or closes using a command, the command prompt. Okay, we're going to boot it up again. Okay, we're back. And the next command that we're going to learn is the command echo. So there are different uses of the command echo, but we're going to learn the basics. So the first thing that we're going to learn about the echo command is the use of strings. So it has a parameter strings. So let's say for example we want to input a set of strings inside the command prompt with the sentence hello world, and by the time I press enter, it's just going to display the input message inside the command prompt hello world there. So that's just the basic input string command using the echo. Okay, and so another basic function that we can use with the echo command is that it can create a executable text document or any document that we want to specify with an input. So from that point on, we can use this echo. And since we already have mentioned about this input strings, let's say for example we want the hello world back again, and we're just going to make use with this greater than symbol. What it says that from the right side of that greater than symbol, we can specify any executable document or text file that we want to specify. So let's say for example we want the hello world, and it will be that input will be contained in the greet.txt file. So if I were to press enter from the from the main directory vmwin directory, let's go back to this PC. Since in here we are in the vmwin directory and we created this greet.txt there, we're going to go to users again, vmwin. Here we can see that the greet.txt has been successfully created, and it is already expected that the hello world input is inside in the greet.txt executable text document as an input. So there, hello world. So that are the two basic functions in using the echo. There are a ton of usage or uses of the echo command. There are advances. You can also configure it or manage inside the system. There are things that you could possibly do it. You can either turn on or off some particular functions that you want to specify. So it is just not majorly focuses on these basics. There's a lot. So these are just the two, and that's all about the echo command for now. Okay, we're just going to go to documents first. So the next command that we're going to learn from now is the command type. So type command. So what it does is that it displays the content that is what is inside or the content inside an executable file or document. So let's say for example we want to open a file. When we open a file, we can see the input from it. It displays the UI as well as the input from that particular file. But this time we're just going to use or make use of the command using the command prompt. So this time the type command. So let's say for example we want to open a particular file inside the documents directory. We're just going to create first. So let's use the echo command and an input string. Say for example sausages, bacon, eggs, milkshake. And we're going to specify it as a .txt with the file name breakfast. Press enter. has been successfully created. So we have the executable text document called breakfast. If we were to click on it, it has the input sausages, bacon, eggs, and milkshake. So we're going to check if that check or displayed information of the content inside that particular .txt file. So we're going to use the type, and since we are already in the documents directory, we're just going to type in the breakfast.txt there. It displays the information sausages, bacons, eggs, and milkshake. So that are the content inside the breakfast.txt text document. So that's what it does. It displays us the information of the content that is inside that particular executable file or that txt file. So the next command that we're going to learn for now is the fc command. So it stands for file compare. So it compares two files. So that means it has two parameters. So the first parameter is the file 1. The second parameter is the file 2. So the file 1 is the file that you want to compare to another file or the file 2. So let's say for example we want to compare the breakfast.txt to another file. So the file compare is that it compares the content or the differences between two executable files. Let's say, for example, from the breakfast, we have this list of different food that you can eat during the breakfast, and we're going to compare it to another file, and then it will display the differences between that particular file and to another file. So first off, since we do not have any other executable file inside the documents directory, then we're going to make one. And we're going to apply what we have learned about the echo from previous that we can also input something as a string and create a file from it and insert those strings inside that particular file. So input string first is that we have, let's say for example we will only have lemon juice and bread. So um we're going to name it as snack.txt. Let's create, press enter. So snack.txt is already made in the documents directory. Now we're going to make use and compare both files. So file compare or file command or fc, breakfast.txt, and snack.txt. Press enter. So it displays as the information that it is comparing both the file breakfast.txt and the snack.txt. So the breakfast.txt has sausages, bacon, eggs, milkshake, and water, while the snack.txt has lemon juice and bread. So that is the content. That is the difference of the contents between the breakfast.txt and the snack.txt. So what will happen if both the executable file has the same content or has the same lines of inputs? So we're going to do that. We're going to see what will happen. So for now, we'll make use with the copy command, and we're going to copy the breakfast.txt and rename it to something else. So let's say for example we're going to rename it to lunch.txt. So copy, and we're going to copy the breakfast.txt and make a copy of it and name it to lunch.txt. Press enter. So one file has been copied. So we have the lunch. And if we were to check on the type of the lunch.txt, so it has the same from the breakfast.txt. And okay, we're going to compare both. And see what will happen. So fc breakfast.txt and the lunch.txt. Press enter. There. So it compares and it shows a result that there is no differences encountered when the command was executed. Therefore, both the content of the breakfast and the lunch.txt is the same. Therefore, there is no result from it. Because the file compare command only compares what is the difference between the inputs or the content between two files. So that's it with the file comparison. And the next command that we will learn from now is the command cls. So it stands for clear screen. So what it does is that by the time I press enter, it automatically clears out the line of commands that we have executed from the previous. So clear screen will delete or remove the previous commands that we have made, and that's what it does. And lastly, we have the command help command, or just type help. So what it does is that it displays the different lists. I mean, it displays a list of different commands that you can use to be executed here in the command prompt. So there's a lot of commands that we can execute, not just the commands that we just learned, but there are a lot that we could discuss. Like here we have, let's say for example, it is we have the assoc, we have the attrib or the attribute command, we have the break, we have the bcd edit. There are just a lot of commands that we can execute. And here the help command helps us in displaying a list of information from alphabetically or in order. So we have here the commands from that starts with letter A up to the last command with the starting letter of W. So that's it. That's all the commands that we can execute here. So that's all the command that we have learned for now. Thank you so much guys for listening, and hopefully you're having a good day, and see you for the next video. Bye.